Guys, today we're going to talk about perspective. And I got a meaning here. A particular attitude towards or way of regarding something, a point of view. So the old analogy of, is the cup half full or is it half empty? So, sometimes in life, we're hit with a particular circumstance or situation that we can't really control. It's out of our reach. Like, it happened. Shit. But one thing that we always have is perspective. How do we view the situation? That's what we always have. So, some of you may know Deontay Wilder, heavyweight champion of the world, undefeated, crazy knockout power. He's actually never wanted to be, or should I say, he never grew up thinking he's going to be a boxer. Right? So at the age of 19, he was a baby. At the age of 19, right? Great times. He got great news that he's going to have his first child, Nia Wilder. He was happy, excited. But something happened. He got hit with a circumstance and a situation in his life. Something in which he had to make a decision, right? So he actually found out before the child was born that she's going to have spina bifida, which exposes part of the spinal cord and his meninges through the backbone. Like, you could visually, physically see it, right? And it means that his daughter's going to have some learning difficulties, which means that she's going to be special needs. It's rough. Now, that is a circumstance and a situation which he cannot do nothing about but accept it and get on with life. Life punches him in the face. He couldn't control that. It's a real life situation. His perspective came into play. So at 19, he decided to drop out of college and forget his dream of playing college football and hopefully going to the NFL one day to attend for his daughter's needs. So once he learned that's going to be the case, he's like, fuck this. I can't let my daughter go through all this hurt. So he decided from there then that he wants to become a professional boxer. Goes to the gym, put in the hard work. The bloody nose, the cut eyes, the knockdowns. Turns professional. 40 fights later, he's undefeated. And in his 38th fight, he became the first American world champion in something like 5 to 10 years. Right now, in his current situation, he's earning no less than $1 million a fight.
Babe, you gotta look at the things that make you who you are. You gotta look at the beauty of it. If it wasn't for you, if it wasn't for the condition to have, Daddy wouldn't be doing what he does. So it's a blessing that you had it. So I turned her sorrow, turned her tears into smiles.
We got another guy, Inky Johnson, lived in a 2-bedroom home with 14 people and usually had to sleep on the floor with his cousins. He decided at a young age that he wanted to go to the NFL because 8 of his uncles that he lived with were going in and out of jail throughout his childhood. So eventually, at age 7, he got picked up into the neighborhood youth football team and he would go practice. And when practice finishes, while the other kids are going home, he's there, he's waiting for his mom because his mom worked overtime. And once his mom comes and he's like, Mom, if you don't mind, please, can you sit in the car, turn your headlights on? I got a few more drills to do. I'm doing this to make sure that when I go to the NFL, you don't have to work again in a day in your life. At age 7, you can't teach that. So this is a kid that kept working because he had this goal, he had this dream, he had this why. He wanted to move his family out of the ghetto. He wanted to take care of his mom, his uncle, his auntie, his grandma, right? So later on, he gets offered a scholarship to the University of Tennessee, right? And he tells a great story. He says, once he got there, there was a host that would make sure that, they like the area and they look around the campus and all of that. And the host one night told him, Inky, there's a party going on, there's a basketball game, we also have a barbecue, which one do you want to go to tonight? He said, man, just take me to my hotel room. The guy goes, what, Inky? Like, come on, like, are you sick or something? He said, no, just take me to my hotel room. I just want to go to bed. And he actually goes on to say that was the first time in a long time that he was able to have a bed by himself at night. This is a kid that knew what he wanted. I mean, this guy came from humble beginnings and he was not about to mess this chance up. So time went on. He went through his freshman year, went to his final year, and he recalls sitting in the film room and his defensive back coach came in the room and said, Inky, I got some good news for you, son. He said, what is it? His coach said, you're projected top 30 draft pick. All you have to do is play the next 10 games and you're going to become a multi-millionaire. You're going to the NFL. So he's all excited. He's all over the moon. Goes outside, rings his mom, tells his mom, Mom, we're not going to be struggling no more. Okay? And then, first game, he goes out, puts on a great performance. Second game, he's doing well. Goes into a tackle and boom, he drops to the floor and he doesn't move. Paramedics came rushing in. They rushed him out to the hospital. And the doctor tells him, Inky, the incident you had resulted in a busted subclavian artery in your chest and torn shoulder ligaments. The good news is you're alive. The bad news is you'll never be able to play professional football in your life. What? What? This guy has been working for this his whole life. And now he's just been told he'll never be able to play the game of football ever again. So what does he do? What's next? What do you do? Inky goes back to the University of Tennessee, gets a master's degree in psychology, and wrote about his story in his autobiography, Inky Johnson, an amazing story of faith and perseverance. Led him to public speaking and making over 250 appearances a year, changing lives every day. Perspective. For me, coming across these sort of stories and having my own experiences in life many years ago, before I turned 21, I was basically blaming everything and everyone for the things that happened in my life. But this is when things change. I realized life is always happening for us, not to us. Life is happening for you, not to you. That perspective, you take that on, everything changes. Everything changes. Nowadays I give gratitude for everything that happened, everything that I considered poor, bad. It's actually the reason I'm doing what I'm doing today. So you never really know. Every day we have two choices. You can either be positive or negative. You can be a pessimist or optimist. It's all about your perspective on how you view things. Change your perspective because it will change your life. Woke Nation, thank you.